The Pentagon is asking for a major boost to the military spending for the year 2019, saying it needs to counter threats from China and Russia. In fact, it has told the US Congress that China is coercing its neighbors to reorder the Indo-Pacific region. Would that mean that China is trying to turn the vast Indian Ocean into the China Ocean? This is what the Pentagon says during its annual budget. And I quote, China is leveraging military modernization, influence operations and predatory economics to coerce neighboring countries to reorder the Indo-Pacific region to their advantage, unquote. Very simply put, the US statement points to China pursuing a military modernization program that seeks Indo-Pacific regional hegemony. The statement goes on to say that, and I quote, again, China is using predatory economics to intimidate its neighbor by militarizing features in South China Sea, unquote. It is known that Beijing is heavily invested in several infrastructure projects in regions like Sri Lanka's ports of Colombo and Hambantota, which gives Beijing a trade outpost into the Indian Ocean, and the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, CPEC, a colossal infrastructure project which connects China's western territories to the Indian Ocean. And on this, I'm joined by my senior editor, Surya Gangadhan. Surya, perhaps I think in that the whole history of Pax Americana, the past 200 years, perhaps China is the only one country which is merging military might with its financial might. You had the emergence of Germany, you had Japan, you had many countries with financial muscle, but no military might. Does it really make US a competitor to China? I am not saying that China is competitor to the US.
No, I think China is increasingly challenging the US in an area where the US always saw its dominance as permanent, And in that sense, it is troubling the United States because it comes at a time when there's been a lot of, if you look at Trump's own re-election, Trump's election, he came there on the promise of bringing down America's profile overseas, especially its military presence. So now with China challenging them in their own Pacific backyard, what does the US do? Does it counter the Chinese challenge or does it back off? I think that was the dilemma for the US politicians, and Trump has decided to take China on. If you recall, some weeks ago he had mentioned, he had named Russia and China as America's competitors. So in that sense, the game is on. He intends to counter the Chinese. Let's see what he can come up with.
Thank you, Surya, for this update.